Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Bobby Ridge. I'm a life span extensionist. I work on research to help us live to like 150 years old, 200 years old. I mean, ideally, I want us to live to like, thousands of years old, which really doesn't seem too difficult. But dude, you know, you'd think it'd be super difficult. But check this out. If I can do this in the dark. Check this out, dude. Come on. Jeez. Check it out. The anticipation. I can't see in the dark. Boom. Dude, I just freaking stepped up in life. Let me put this down. Dude, some freaking red light. Oh, it looks so good. It looks way better than this. Than the Facebook Live video or platform. I was using it on Skype. Dang, it looks way better on here. But the video is gonna be like this on YouTube, so that's too bad. Hi, Bobby. You can't see it. Well, I don't know what to tell you. What up, Valerie? I'm not sure what the specific nanometers are. I just kind of grabbed it real quick. It was a quick buy. I'll probably keep it right for the rest of my daily lifespan extension vlogs because dude, now watching my videos, it's not just a good way to learn about lifespan extension research, but dude, you might physically be living longer now by watching my videos, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, what if I started using the specific like nanometers, and I wonder how that would work with going across a video, right? And I could test it on organisms. So I mean, that's a whole thing that I'll eventually do. Valerie says she loves the red light. I'm live streaming this on. Dude, this is not gonna stay here, huh? Gosh darn it. Come on. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so yeah, near infrared light. That's a method to increase lifespan of modeled organisms, specifically Drosophila melanogaster. Fruit flies. Dude, I could have sworn I've read studies of near infrared. Oh yeah, dude, I definitely have. Hold on, I'm gonna find that right now. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up, dude. I definitely have. If I'll put it in the description a link to mice having the lifespan increased. Dude, I'm like 50% sure that I've found that, but I could be wrong. So, but I definitely I just read the study of near infrared light increasing lifespan of Drosophila. And it's a pretty good study. I think it was in 2015. I'll put a link to that in the description also. And I'm probably going to do this in parts because red light treatment is actually pretty popular. And I wanted to look into it a lot more. And so, while looking into it, I might as well prepare a lifespan extension vlog since I do daily lifespan extension vlogs. And so what else? I just briefly read the study. I didn't read it too thoroughly. And I probably will read it more thoroughly tomorrow. Or maybe later today. I don't know. So I'm just going to give a brief description of the study. And I'll... yeah. And then in later daily lifespan extension vlogs, I'll go in more detail. Dude, I'm putting these on since it's red light. Boom. Dude, Dollar Tree glasses are the best kind of glasses. So, I guess I'll first say, I'll define what near infrared light is. So, if you remember the electromagnetic spectrum, right? Let me pull it up real quick. Electromagnetic spectrum. So that you may remember the different like frequencies or wavelengths of light and how they have different lengths, right? For example, visible light is between like 700 and something, I think 720 to like 400 nanometers. That's the length of the wavelength, I believe, right? Yeah, wavelength. And then what else you got? You got gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, and then visible light that goes from blue to red, and then and then you can keep this in your mind certain ways. But then you got infrared and radio waves. Where's microwaves at? And then so you think of the color red, and near infrared, or I mean infrared is infra is below, right? So you think, and then infrared, so it's below red, so it's always going to be next to red. And the wavelength they use, the specific wavelength, so it's near infrared, right? It's not actual infrared in the study, in the lifespan extension study that they did on Drosophila. It's near, so it's not actual infrared. So it's going to be in visible light, and so they used 670 nanometers, I guess, is that's what's usually used in research. I mean, I haven't read too much research, but I've read a few different papers just to check if they're ever using different wavelengths, and they're usually using 670. I guess that's well known to do specific things for within our cells and stuff that I'll briefly discuss. So let's go on the study. So far. Oh, by the way, if you do find any lifespan extension studies that have utilized near infrared light to increase the lifespan of model organisms, then please leave a comment in the in the comment section, and leave a comment of the DOI, or just I don't know, just cite it correctly. I don't know. I really need those studies. So far, they're thinking that red light decreases the rate of declining ATP. I guess ATP. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many tissues they've measured the decline of ATP inside humans. That's definitely a good thing to look up. But supposedly, in the entire body of a fly, as they age, the production of ATP declines. Which, if you know anything about ATP, it's pretty important, right? It's like super important. And so, but by the way, you always want to, whenever you hear about a study that has measured something really important like ATP throughout an organism's age, and they notice a increase or decline in it, that's always super important to know. And so you should always jot that down. I personally am making a list. I'm making a list of the different important things that increase or decrease as we age, right? Like, for example, some things that increase is senescent cells, right? Those increase, and those are very important. And the way I'm using important, I guess, is something that's very abundant, something that's very the function is relatively vital, or just has very robust regenerative properties, highly systemic. That's kind of what I mean by important. And so I'm actually making a spreadsheet of the whole list. And so what other things are increasing? Different proteins in our brains are increasing, right? This increases our chances of dementia and different neuro disorders. Other things that decrease that are important are like mesenchymal cells decrease exponentially, actually, as we age. I should have the list in front of me. I have a whole list, and I guess ATP decreases, right? Also, but I would have to look into that more. So they're thinking that the red light decreases the rate of decline of ATP as we age, and also, so they say specific wavelengths in this range are absorbed by cytochrome C oxidase. So certain specific wavelengths, which the 670 nanometers, are absorbed by cytochrome C oxidase in mitochondrial respiration, improving its efficiency. And they have a lot of really good citations. These wavelengths improve mitochondrial membrane potentials, significantly reduce inflammation, and reduce macrophage numbers in brief exposures of around 60 to 90, 60 to 90 seconds, repeated over approximately a week. So that's I think they provided a few other ways that that they're thinking that the red light helps out, but I'm sure it helps out in a lot of other ways, because if it's increasing lifespan, then it's gonna have to be regenerating on a multi-systemic level, right? Because all of our systems are aging at the same time, and in order to increase lifespan as much as they did, especially in this study, they increased it by quite a bit. Then you're gonna have to be regenerating, or cleaning up like maybe some trash in like multiple organs, right? Multiple systems, right? We have like what, like 12 systems in our body, and so which is just so impressive, right? Usually when you think of a medication or a therapy, you usually think of something that targets just like one sort of that's it's targeting relatively specifically, and they are coming out with things that are more systemic, but I mean this is probably the most systemic that you can get, most systemic like regeneration or therapeutic target. So their methods are, in the study they only use male mice or male flies for some reason. I think it was 21 in the experimental and the control. Of course, they used 12 hours of 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness. They always tend to do that for important reasons, I'm sure. And then it's they're at 25 degrees Celsius. This is like slowly falling. This thing is like not working too well. Whatever. And then what else did they do? So 670 nanometers. And it was only for 20 minutes per day, which is interesting. And they use clear plastic containers. It's 28 millimeters wide, I guess, and then they illuminate it on both sides. I'm surprised they didn't have the light actually in the containers. There's just there's just so many like little specifics that really need to be tested. But these scientists who do these life extension studies, they aren't thinking large enough for some reason. Which they haven't been thinking large enough for a while now. It's really odd why they don't. And this research has been around for almost like 100 years, dude. Like life extension research in general, not near infrared light therapy, but just extending the lifespan of model organisms has almost been around for 100 years. And so there's definitely something going on with like the psychology or like sociology of life extension research, because it's so obviously impressive, and the fact that it's taking so long for researchers to embrace it and try to translate it into humans is really really weird. And so when you read these studies, you'll there's so many, like, you might come up with like a bunch of ideas of like, dang, I wish they did this, I wish they did this. I don't know, at least that's how I feel. And so they didn't even provide the, I mean, maybe I just didn't read it thoroughly enough, but they didn't even provide the they didn't calculate like the average increase in lifespan. What did they say? I think I got a quote here. They just said, where is it at? Right here. I'm gonna be able to read it with my glasses on. So by the time the control population was reduced by 80% at week 8, more than 100% extra 670 nanometer treated flies remained alive. So 100% of them were alive when at week 8, were more alive out of the. I think there's right. They used 21 flies in each group. So at week 8, 100% more were alive in the experimental group, which is pretty freaking impressive. But one thing, what's really great that I'm glad that they noted was the maximum, not the maximum lifespan, but the longest lived organisms was not increased. Maximum lifespan was likely increased, which is the average of the last 10% of the population. That's in the group. But the longest lived, which is like the number one longest lived organism in the group, right? Like the longest lived for humans is Jean Clement, at least on record, and she got to 122. But that's not necessarily the maximum lifespan of our species. right? The maximum lifespan would probably be like around 100 years old, maybe 110 years old. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to start working with somebody who we can calculate that, because we're going to be targeting centenarians and super centenarians with geroprotectors, and he has like a huge batch of them. Dang, I could have put this into 2 parts too. Okay, whatever. So I'm going to do multiple parts to red light therapy, just because it's kind of fun for me for some reason. What else did I want to say real quick? So yeah, there's a bunch of unique methods. I'm pretty sure we're going to discover that certain sound vibrations can even increase lifespan of modeled organisms. And there's a bunch of other unique techniques. It's not just drugs and gene therapies or stem cell therapies. There's like really interesting organ transplants, right? Or even like different surgeries, like removing a bunch of fat. But there's a bunch of different young to old transplants. Not heterokaryonic parabiosis, which is with blood, but because that's a really popular young to old transplant. But like with the pineal gland or the what else do they use? Did they do hypothalamus? No, pineal gland and pituitary gland transplants, young to old, has increased lifespan in mice even. And then this is another interesting method. I wish I would have had that list in front of me. There's like 5 more that are really impressive life extension methods. And just imagine like combining all these, right? That's really what's important. That's what we should have been doing for 100 years now. But whatever. We just got to start doing it now, I guess. Which is what I'm doing. You can't really see behind me too much, and I'm hiding most of it. But I'm doing a bunch of life extension studies on modeled organisms right now, like flies and nematodes and yeast. And so, I really want to figure out what's the optimal combination of these, right? Because, dude, you figure out an optimal combination of all these, and you're probably going to get humans to live to 150, which, like, is so easy. Like, that's such an easy thing to do. Like, you just got to do the experiment like that. You just got to do, like, the experiments are so easy, right? You just got to watch them and treat them and watch them for their entire lives. And so, it is a little bit more difficult trying to get it prescribed to humans. That is a little bit difficult of a process, but there are ways, which I've discussed in previous life extension vlogs. Yeah. All right, that's it for the daily lifespan extension vlog. I post this on my YouTube channel, Life Extension Research or whatever. I think it's called Lifespan Extension Research. And just make sure you subscribe. That's super important. It's great that some people were watching on the live stream. And all right. I look forward to living with all of you forever. It's gonna be one heck of a journey. All right. I'll see you later.